Hello everyone, welcome to FPL Jedi Show Gameweek 14 deadline stream. We are happy to be here on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Malaysian time. My name is Hafiz and with me, my co-host Azmin. How's
Hello.
your preparation for Gameweek 14?
I'm good to go. Well, not really good to go. Some late team news will wait until 5:45 or something, and yeah, otherwise good to go. Ready to go.
All right, good. We will run through the team news and quotes by managers from Friday press conference. We shall see first. Let's deep dive into Game Week 14 fixture first, which early kickoff. Leicester versus Man City. There's particular team news from Man City that we are looking forward to. And then at 10 p.m., we have like five matches. Bournemouth versus Spurs, and then Brentford versus Wolves, which we know Wolves had been lately in bad form, and it's a good match for Brentford. Potter will come back to his previous club, Brighton. So Brighton will face Chelsea at MX Stadium. We then have Crystal Palace versus Southampton, another London affair. And then we welcome Unai Emery. He's not yet in charge for this week, right? I mean, Newcastle versus Villa. I think that's the first match for Unai Emery. If he's on the touch on the stadium later, then we have Fulham versus Everton at 12:30 a.m. High flying Fulham versus Everton, who has reached his peak last week. And then we have Liverpool versus Leeds, both really dire in terms of form and really need this win. Jesse March, especially under pressure right now. And then on Sunday itself, we have Arsenal versus Forest. Forest, who has claimed a famous victory against Liverpool last week. They're facing Arsenal, who are actually on top of the table right now. And then Manchester United versus West Ham will close off game week 14 fixture. So that's the feature for this week, man.
Yeah.
Before that, would like to welcome Rakan FPL to the show. Yes, Zah, morning.
Morning.
We will welcome also Michael
Always.
Johnson, morning. And
Morning, Michael.
he mentioned and first defeated for Unai Emery. Oh, okay. If he's in charge, yeah. All right, man. Let's jump straight. I mean, we particularly want to know news for Leicester and Man City.
Okay, so okay, let's just do a quick one for Leicester. Leicester, pretty much everyone except you know, I mean, there was a concern with NDD, so but apparently he's fine. So it's really just a case of Johnny Evans. So Amate is going to deputize for him, and uh, I've thought I did underestimate Amate, but he, somehow did well in the last couple of matches, but unfortunately might be too much against City. However, City. So the mystery about Erling Haaland, Pep was not exactly straightforward. He's still so apparently he's still going to be assessed, but he is attending a training session. He did attend a training session yesterday, so a decision will be made on his ability. So I would argue that he's fine, but of course we're gonna have to wait for the to see how much news we can get because it is the early kickoff. Everyone else is good to go. So um, Foden, I guess the question where because last week he didn't start, but I would totally expect him to start this one. I don't see an issue of KDB, of course, will start. The other only issue is Cancelo, and I don't think Cancelo has problem starting either.
All right. Comment from Pep will let us guessing, man, whether first we need to, if let's say we really want to follow, then we follow,
Yeah,
find out what's the latest news, especially whether he will actually travel. That the
yeah,
first thing. If he
yeah,
travels, then you need to decide whether you're gonna play him or Pep might have actually bench him, which he has not been benched before, and come
yeah,
on. So that's another thing, and that is why the situation of captaincy for this week is actually
yeah,
unique, man. Whether you're gonna continue to try to captain Haaland or if they say he come on from the bench, you might actually get like 1 point only, man.
Yeah. And the good thing with City is that in the midweek they have another Champions League match after next midweek, but because it's a dead tie, so they can just, and Pep I already said he's gonna field those who don't normally play. So we
They
were
already
gonna
know.
yeah. So yeah, I mean just now I mentioned Cancelo because in the midweek match earlier he played through an illness apparently. So
Mm.
I'm just gonna there was no negative news on him, so I'm gonna assume he's fine. But it is a concern simply because a lot of us do have Cancelo.
All right, good stuff. I think this is a guessing game, man. So we shall see whether.
It
Uh,
doesn't have to be a guessing game. If we can, if as long as we find out, because it is against Leicester, so they do need to travel. So chances are we will get. Um, I mean, the decision will come down to if he does travel, then do you field him or do you bench him, or if you field him, are you captaining him? So not so easy. I would
yep.
think that if he travels, he'll start.
All right, good stuff. Let's go to the next game. Bournemouth versus Spurs, man. We know Spurs actually has been. Conte did mention in midweek had been robbed from a victory against
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon, is it? For UCL game. So what's the latest news for both teams?
So there's good news and bad news for Bournemouth, and the good news is of course that Solanke, everyone's current favorite cheap striker, seems to be ready, should be okay. It's better than expected, so you would assume that he's going to be back. I'm just going to check on another side. Yeah, so it's just a case of them taking care, but um, as you can see from the predicted lineup in Football Scout, they don't have him starting though, so it is a bit of a concern. But I think the bigger concern now is the keeper. So we got Travers there instead of Neto, and whether or not that will sink, it's definitely something that Spurs are going to exploit, are going to need to look to exploit. With this miscommunication between the back line, because it's a keeper they don't haven't played with in the league yet. So let's see how we go. On Spurs, same old, same people. Charlison, Kulusevski are out. Um, okay, so we got Son and Kane, of course, but Son, aside from that hat trick, he hasn't scored, has he? Aside from that hat trick where he proclaiming he's back apparently, and then after that he's just gone silent. So, but if you wanted to exploit this one, it has to be Kane, isn't it? Especially
Yep.
against Neto.
Yep. If you want to be punty, you can try Son, but he's not informed. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, Spurs face Liverpool and then Southampton, I suppose. So yeah,
The good thing is that is you only have to worry about 3 matches, so
yeah.
it's. But yeah, I mean, I would still not want Son. It's hard to justify
Fair,
picking
fair.
him, and if he does score, a brace or a hat trick, it's not going to impact most of us if we don't pick him.
Okay. In terms of Solanke, if let's say I have him and Andreas, I suppose Andreas a better choice to play this week. I suppose so.
Between
That's what I
Solanke
think.
and
Andreas, I think
I don't
so.
know. I don't know about that Spurs back line though. It's a bit dodgy.
Okay. All right.
Because the other issue, I mean, if the problem is with Solanke, there's still the injury doubt surrounding him. But if he is fit, I would probably play him over Andreas. It's just that for Andreas, they are playing Everton, who else? Well, pretty much one of the form defense. Yeah.
Okay. Fair. All right. I think that's the latest news. We are not sure. I think Perisic did play 90 minutes in Champions League. So then it's a doubt if they say whether he starts his game. I don't think so. So then you can see why Sessegnon is actually in the predicted lineup. And then also Emerson because Doherty start in the Champions League. Next game, man. Brentford versus Wolves. What's latest news? Especially, Wolves still, there's no manager at their side.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's taking so long. Apparently he's been getting turned down by prospective managers, so it's pretty bad for Wolves. Okay, but in terms of injury news, yeah, Brentford, no real issue. So just that Christian Norgard, but that's fine. Janelle Jensen, Baptist are going to assume the bomber positions. Buemo, Tony, and Wissa, yeah, they're fine as well, so they should start. So on where Wolves is, there was that worry about Costa, but he hasn't scored, so we're not really looking at him at the moment. And it's really bad for Wolves, starting to wonder what's, remember last time where Adama Traore used to be, people got worried about him coming around, and to be fair, he does cause a lot of trouble, but then because he has no finishing product, he needs to find someone who does have that finishing product, and at the moment, that's just not there for Wolves. So, Brentford, of course, they need to bounce back. This weird Southampton-ish side, but I'd expect them to win against Wolves, and maybe if you want to keep a clean sheet, this one too.
Yeah, I feel so. That could be the result. And I have high expectation for Tony this week, man. If he does not turn any attacking return, I will definitely be mad. All right. So let's go to the next game, which is Brighton versus my club, Chelsea, man. So what's has been Roberto and Potter been saying?
All right, so this is the Potter homecoming. So apparently Veltman has issues. So we don't know. We don't know that be, but it's definitely if that's the case, that's definitely something something to worry about for that right side of Brighton's defense. So you can plug. But then it is Aubameyang in the predicted lineup. But then someone like Chilwell could definitely cause a lot of problems. So Potter again, Koulibaly, in out. Will he ever come back, or is it going to continue to recur? So if you look at that lineup, so you've got Loftus. We do know that James is out as usual. James is out for quite a while. So the question there is for the Trevor Chalobah spot, because he could have who's the guy, Azpilicueta playing there instead.
Yes.
So we got because Azpilicueta has been known to also play in the James role, so which means that in that Loftus-Cheek role. But Chilwell was I like the look of Chilwell this week, to be honest. I think that midweek he didn't play, so I think this could be a game. Especially if Veltman is out, then there's a lot of exploitation. Especially if someone like Tariq Lamptey plays, because Lamptey is good going forward, but then defensively is really suspect.
Yep, interesting match. Especially, I think Potter knows his previous team, but Roberto could actually play a different style. But I think this is an interesting match to see. And another thing I want to point out, also homecoming for Cucurella. He actually from Brighton before this. So if he features, I think Potter and Cucurella should got a warm welcome. That's what I feel.
Just to quick the highlight on Brighton, in terms of I was reading a site about how they were among the worst teams in terms of conversion to expected goals. So the likes of Solly March and Welbeck, they've got quite a few chances, but neither of them has scored. They really heavily relying on Trossard at this point, who's as a one-man show. So don't bang against Trossard scoring this one.
Yeah, that's why. If Trossard scored again, wow, that's classic FPL. That I can say. Next game, Palace versus Southampton. We know Palace did really lost against Everton last week. But Southampton got a decent result against Aston. So what both have been saying.
Yeah. So no changes with Palace. Really, no real changes. The likes of Zaha, Guaita, Guel, your popular FPL picks are all good to go. The match, the squad itself, everyone key is gonna play. Same thing with Southampton. It's just a case of I don't know. Are they doing a horses for courses? Of course, we know that Kyle Walker-Peters is still out. Of course, Ward-Prowse. Will he gonna come back to that early season form we saw him? I don't know. I gave up on him. So, but this is a game I expect Zaha to again score. Being at home. I know he's this on again, off
Uh,
again.
I'm
But
I'm going to give him one last chance, man. Before like you mentioned, in terms of home form, Crystal Palace are better
yeah.
from away. So we shall see this week. Then after that,
Well, even I would still sell him after this week because the next two matches are both away,
yep,
before the World
understand.
Cup. So yeah.
All right, let's give Zaha another chance. Next, which is Newcastle versus Villa, May. Really in a lot of interest of Newcastle, I said this week. So what's latest news from Eddie
Okay,
Howe?
so for Toon side, pretty much the same, which is Isaac is still out. However, ASM could be available. You mentioned that there's a chance. That doesn't mean you pick him, of course, because the squad as it is performing well in his absence. So even in that predicted lineup has Jacob Murphy, but I think it could be Ryan Fraser in there as
Yeah.
well.
I think Isaac is still out, right? That's
Yeah,
not
Isaac
mentioned
is still
as
out.
well.
Yeah, Isaac is still
So,
out.
yep.
So
So
so,
it's
so
been really, really long since from game week 8, I think, his last play. And then after that, he does not play until
yeah,
game week
Newcastle are lucky in that respect because at least Wilson came back not soon
14.
after. So it's just a case of when one's injured, the other one's fit, then it's fine for Newcastle. They're happy. Um, so on the Villa side, so we've heard that Digne is back. But of course, if you remember last week that trashing, why would you change that winning squad? Yeah, so we've got Watkins, Bailey, Buendia, all starting, and I guess the question with Villa is that the observation with Villa is that Gerard's favorite is not going to start, which is Coutinho. So that may be the difference. Yeah, it was the issue of favoritism with that one. So yeah.
Yep. I really interested to see this match whether Villa result last week is a fluke or they're really back. So this is interesting match to see. All
Well.
right.
Yeah, the manager
Hmm.
should take charge for this match.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh, is it?
it's
Okay.
yeah,
So
yep.
Emery has been given, I think, a permit to start his work. So good.
I think so.
We shall see. We shall see. Let's go next match, man. Fulham versus Everton. Marco Silva side are really on high, but Lampard side also get a good win last week. So what
Yeah,
latest reporting?
yeah. So yeah, no real issues with
Mhm.
both squads actually. The biggest change for is in the Everton side where Patterson is back. To be fair, Coleman has played well in his absence, but Patterson for me is just the better player. Coleman is slow. Um, um, DCL, yeah. So I mean, we're not going to pick him yet. let's wait after let's wait after the World Cup. But this is an interesting match. So you got two teams in good form and good nick, and I would think that Everton's defense is going to hold off Fulham to an extent, but
Hmm.
it's going to be a tight game, maybe a 1-1 draw.
All right. I think interesting match. I think this is the last match, at least for Fulham asset, if you have Mitrovic, because the next 2 weeks is going to be tough one against City and also Manchester United. So maybe that could be the time for you to shift if let's say you want to be aggressive and especially to take the real upside for the next 2 game weeks. So that is Fulham versus Everton. I think this is also another audition, man, for DCL. If let's say he perform, Everton still have two decent fixture coming up. So
Yeah,
that's what I feel.
yeah, it does. But you know what? Um, just find space for EOB and save yourself though, because you're gonna spend. I mean, if you're the type who watches matches, as they play and hope for scores. I mean, if you watch this Everton match, you'll be thinking, please DCL don't get hurt. Please DCL don't get hurt. So yeah, it's quite fragile like that. So yeah,
All right.
EOB.
Yeah, I understand. Next, man, Liverpool versus Leeds, your club. So what's latest news for both team?
Right. Um, so apparently Konate is back. so which is good news.
Okay.
We're starting to see the injury returns. I think Thiago could be out as well. Could be available as well.
Okay, good.
Which,
That will be
which
good.
yeah, that would be fantastic, and it would be good for the likes of Salah. So
Mhm.
so because it just adds a bit more control. The problem is Fabinho has not been showing the levels that we've expected him to be at. Uh, and the other news is, of course, Nunes, who did play in the
Champions League.
Champions League and played and then got subbed out early, and not because of injury, but just subbed out probably to keep him fresh, which is great because definitely Liverpool need to bounce back after losing against Forest. Um, on the lead side, this is the problematic side. After Nottingham Forest, especially because it was Nottingham Forest that Liverpool played with, then this whole Robin Hood meme started coming up again about Liverpool robbing from the rich, which is defeating Manchester City, and giving to the poor, which is Nottingham Forest in Nottingham, of all places. So then the Robin Hood thing comes out. So now the worry, of course, is that for that not to happen, but this needs to happen. So Liverpool need a win at Anfield, and we should expect them to get the win here. Leeds are in a team in trouble. So the question here now, especially with the doubts surrounding Haaland,
Mhm.
is are we going to captain Salah if you have him?
That's a question. And say if you don't have Salah, Kane could be another decent option against Bournemouth. That what I feel if we have. Like you mean, KDB could be an option.
Yeah, it's the early match though.
Understand.
Yeah,
All
well,
right. Okay,
let's
man.
see.
We expect good things about Liverpool. With Jesse Marsh mentioning, there's a lot of question about his sides, especially on Rodrigo, Sinistra, and all
Mhm.
their main lineup. So I think that's a worry, and that could actually an exploit that Liverpool can do.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Arsenal versus Forest. I don't have any quotes by Arteta, but what has been Cooper been saying?
Okay, so I'll just quickly on Arsenal. So apparently Gabriel, okay, there's three. I found out. I only lately found out there's three Gabriels in that Arsenal squad. The defender, then there's Martinelli and Jesus. They're all Gabriels.
Oh,
So
okay.
apparently one of them limped out. Or had a
Mhm.
problem during midweek. Turns out it was the defender, which is Gabriel Magalhaes. I don't know how you
Okay.
pronounce it.
Right. Right.
So that's the issue. That may be an issue then. I expect him not to play.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe So Ben White should go back into the
Yep. Yep.
center, which means that Tomiyasu will come in
Yep.
on the right.
Yep. He can
Um,
be. Mhm.
so for us, no new injuries as mentioned in the tweet. So you would expect them to play the same squad that took 3 points off Liverpool. Yeah, no reason to muck it around. And Forest are in good touch. They've kept 2 clean sheets in a row
Mhm.
and got 4 points. So well done, Forest. Well done, Wolf. One of in Malaysia we have one of our friend of us is his name's Wolf, and he's an ardent Forest supporter. So he was chilling and enjoying the victory over Liverpool last weekend. So let's see if he does the same in London this time.
After you saying that, this could be look like much tighter than I thought after Forest really resurgence. Yep, it could
Yeah,
be.
and because the other issue is of course Arsenal lost midweek to in Europe. So and they need to
And
win
then
otherwise.
they drew against Southampton last
Yeah,
week. So
yeah.
that's
So there's a bit of a bump for
yep.
them. So for on the just quickly on the Arsenal side. So again, ESR is out. So that's the only which is good. So
Yep.
I mean for the likes of Martinelli, not that he's gonna get displaced, but it doesn't. It just means Martinelli is likely to get full minutes.
Okay. Last game in to cover for game week 14. Manchester United versus West Ham. What has been Ten Hag and Moyes been saying?
Okay, so, uh, well, let's forget about Marshall and let's question as to Ronaldo. Where we at with Ronaldo? So he did play midweek and he did score. He
Mhm,
scored towards
mhm,
the end,
mhm,
but
mhm.
because he played most of it, so I don't expect him to start this week. In this weekend, he's gonna be back. Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
the issue is of course Varane, who's out. So Lindelof should come in. Um, and
yeah.
that's it. So everyone else should be good. On the West Ham side, um, Bowen. It's all about Bowen right now. We don't know he's ready
He's
with
injured,
the
is it?
yeah. He didn't play in midweek
Yeah.
in the Europa Conference. So it's the jury's out as to whether he will play. And as you can see in the predicted lineup, he's not there.
Okay.
So I mean, and then without him, if you look at that, it doesn't look very strong, does it? You got Don, Susak, Rice,
Yeah, I
for
think
now.
Moise maybe did mention about Pakete.
Yeah,
He remains out, so that's another blow. That why.
yeah, he's out as well. So maybe Antonio. Well,
Hmm.
we'll see. Yeah, because of but for now, who did start in the midweek, but he was substitute early, so I expect him to play. So the question now is whether or not is it's both teams are in coming off a win, right? Yeah. So
United. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it'll be an interesting match. But
Okay.
I expect United to win narrow win.
Right. And Manchester is actually in the decent run after starting this week. I can say, and after that the two matches. I think one of them is Fulham. So there'll be a lot of interest seeing whether the likes of Rashford, Anthony, whoever they're gonna perform, and then maybe they jump in next week.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's the fixture main. We look at the top transfer for this week. At least we know if let's say we are still undecided what to do this week. The most transfer in this week, would you know? Almiron, it is 690,000 managers. It's a big man jump for in terms of ownership for Almiron. Is now
Yeah.
increasing price also. So a lot of interest, and that is actually no surprise, especially when taking into account his form, right? So
Yeah.
that's the top transfer for Gameweek 14. Then we have the likes of Kane. I think yeah, we can see the fixture is not bad, especially against Bournemouth. And then KDB in midfield, maybe because after last week defeat for Liverpool, maybe people are teaching Salah and getting KDB. That could be the situation. Trossard coming in back after it's been like most transfer out last week, I suppose. Yeah, because one goal against Man City, they are back against Chelsea. So okay, that's the traffic. And Mitrovic is in. He's performed, but after that, they had some tough fixture coming up for Fulham. Like we mentioned, man, Salah is the most transfer out, Niger and so on. That's the traffic right now. James is, yes, we know he's injured. Gross and then Jesus, even though Aston face Forest and I think Wolves in the next three. Then Haaland, would you surprise? He's in there, the most transfer out, regardless whether he's fit or not. So what do you think, me?
That's so knee jerk, isn't it? With Haaland, I don't know. Probably after seeing him limp in the Champions League, there's
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
get rid of
yeah.
him. So okay, but Almiron, yeah, it's a lot of content creators out there have been bigging out this week. I'd like to just claim credit for mentioning him a few weeks earlier before he went on this run, but unfortunately last week I still didn't field him. I stuck him on the bench, so that's my mistake.
I'm expecting you to
Yeah,
play him
Kane.
this week, right?
But sorry.
I'm expecting you to play Almiron this week.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's against Villa. It's a bit unpredictable, but Newcastle do have the quality. So you got Kane again. Yeah, we mentioned earlier playing against Bournemouth. KDB, the top transfers in, especially because people are worried with, if I don't know, are people doing double transfers and selling Haaland for KDB? I don't know, because KDB is second in terms of is is behind Foden in terms of the midfield pick.
Mhm.
This Trossard thing. I don't know what to think about it, but Brighton do have, out of the next three, Brighton have two matches at home, which is Chelsea and
Okay.
Villa,
All right.
and
Okay.
away they play Wolves. So it's
Okay.
definitely
So maybe,
justified.
maybe. Mhm.
Yeah. So if people are, I don't mind if people are correcting from last week's error, transferring out, bringing him back in, or not having him in the first place, but bringing him back in, because the last three matches look decent for Brighton. And as mentioned earlier, Trossard seems to be the only one who's scoring goals for Brighton. It's terrible. Yeah.
Mhm. I think,
Anyone
I
else?
think, Min,
James,
if
sorry.
let's say Trossard scored this week against Chelsea, the traffic will be a lot next week.
It
I
will,
think.
because after this is Wolves and Villa. So yeah, you'd expect him to make another appearance up here. I'm just surprised that people are late in transferring out James. I thought I was late because I transferred only 2 weeks after he got injured, but now there are still people selling him. So that was a bit of a surprise for me.
All right. That's the traffic for this week, Min. I think we go to my team first. What I'm
Yeah.
gonna do, but I already told my move, but I'll show my team in for game week 14. This is how my team will line up. Guita in goal against Southampton at home. All right. Then I have Cancelo there. Leicester. I think I'm gonna play Dyer. You can dispute debate on that, Min. Dyer versus Guile. I feel I don't want to double up on Crystal Palace, although their home form might be better. But I've been crashed by Crystal Palace a lot, so I just play Dyer this week against Bournemouth. And if let's say Solenko does not play, maybe that will increase the chance of a clean sheet. Trippier against Villa at home, he's on form. He's the best scoring defender, so no question. Salah is still there with me, okay, in my team, Leeds at home. I feel more comfortable now or more calm now coming from the last game week defeat against Forest. Foden there, I'm trusting he's going to start. I hope he perform this week. Southampton, Zaha against Southampton. I play him for the last time. Hope he deliver. Martinelli against Forest, no doubt he will play. Tony, I hope he deliver since I get him last week. If there's not, hopefully he deliver against Wolves. Mitrovic, he will be there against Everton. Maybe his last chance before I transfer out next week. And Haaland, I'm still captaining him for now. I still trust Haaland to start. I think there is 1 week which we doubt whether Haaland gonna start, and then he start and then he explode. So that's why I feel I forgot that game week. But for now, I am captaining him. Say he does not turn up, then Andreas will come in, which I don't mind. So I think all decent for this week.
Yeah.
Any any
That
comment?
game
Yep.
week was when Haaland had the Champions League match in midweek, and he also started. And then if you remember, the whole issue at him at the start was whether or not he could play 3 matches in a row. So and Pep himself was at the start casting doubt over it. He was practicing the wizard dark arts in misdirecting us. So Haaland's young, he's fit. If as long as there's no injury doubt, then he'll play. Um, on your team, I just like to point out, yeah, you're wrong. Put Guel in for the clean sheet. I'm not sure Spurs will keep a clean sheet because Spurs have not been looking
Okay.
steady at the
Hi.
back
Hi.
lately. Loris
Fair.
has been bumbling. He's been
Okay.
he's been
All
doing
right.
errors. Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll think about that. But for now, yeah, the price factor still play in my mind. To be fair.
Yeah, well,
So
okay. Well, I love casting doubts from someone at 4 million against towards someone at 67 million. You're wrong.
But you know what? I've been burned so much by this Palace side. So
True.
we
Fair
shall
enough.
see. Tripling up Crystal Palace side against something I still feel a decent side. So we
Okay.
shall see. We shall see. Right, man? Go to your team, mate.
Okay, so I'll just share my team now. Let me just. I haven't made any transfers yet, so but unlike Hafiz, I'm definitely gonna do a transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if
Mm-hmm.
okay, can see it. Okay,
Yep.
so I got Ramsdale against Forest, Saliba against Forest, Trippier, Van Dijk. Yeah, so yeah, I've as mentioned last week, I've decided to forget the Robertson TA debate and just just stay with Van Dijk, who's a lock. So Foden, KDB, Almiron, who I already have, Martinelli, Haaland, Firmino, and Mitrovic. So Firmino's not going to be there. I'm going to transfer him out for Darwin, just making sure that there's no issues there. And most likely, I will captain Darwin for this one. I just feel that Leeds are, Leicester are having a bit of form, so and they're playing at Leicester, so it will not be it may not be explosive, but I expect that Liverpool, who definitely need to bounce back big time, so I think Leeds are there for the taking. Then Mitrovic, Everton. So the question was with who to leave on the bench, and I'm leaving Andreas on the bench because I just felt that Everton as a defense side are good. But it wasn't that easy, and I expect that if Haaland doesn't play, then Andreas can come in. That's nice.
Yeah. I feel all good stuff. You're making move for Darwin also is good thing. I will definitely support that and captain him, which is the likes is your style. So I like it. Everything is I like it because this could be the advantage that you can take and continue your green arrow.
Right? Yeah, it will be a Darwin versus Salah from the looks of it.
All right. If everyone here want to follow what will be our final team, you can follow our Twitter. That you can see. I will post my team before the deadline. All right. So I think we go to the question before we wrap up.
Yeah.
All right. We go to a lot of questions here. All right. Michael Johnson just pop up. He has Barnes and Vardy in his team. He still has, and hope miracle will come in. Means that he will gonna play these two players. What do you think, man?
Here's the thing. I do expect Leicester to score, Michael. It's just a case of who's gonna score. So yeah, the best bet you can hope for is maybe a Vardy assist to a Barnes goal, because that will get you more points than a Barnes assist to a Vardy goal. Okay, so let's go for the Vardy assist to a Barnes goal. That will get you more points because Barnes goal will you'll get more points. Simply put.
Yep. Trust your guts. Just play them. All right. I like that. Next question, man. I have Pope, Shah, Trippier, and Raya. They're really decent, right? But I'm not sure about Shah. I think I'm not sure about Shah whether he's gonna play. Should start triple Newcastle versus Villa or spread the risk? Okay, I think that's a good question. Like my situation, I don't want to put all in the basket for Crystal Palace side. So he's thinking about putting all basket in Newcastle side. What do you think?
Yeah, the difference between yours is that you've got one goalkeeper, one defender, and one Zaha, which is midfield. But this guy's got 3 clean sheets banking. Hey, right, Rakavia? I didn't know you. Wow. But I do think Raya has a better chance of keeping a clean sheet, simply because we're looking at, this might be a resurgent Villa side. I don't expect them to win against Newcastle, but the chances of them scoring are there. I can still see Newcastle scoring. So yeah, I would spread the risk and reduce your squad by 1. Yeah, Raya versus Wolves is as good as choice. I don't know who you have in defense as options, but with Pope and Raya, yeah, go for Raya.
I think so. I think I want to agree with that. But trust your guts. Rakan FPL, if you feel that Newcastle can keep clean sheet, and to be fair, Newcastle is a better side than Brentford. So
shots wise, I think Pope will definitely end up with more saves than Raya, because Villa's gonna go with the likes of Bailey, Buendia, Watkins, and Ings. They're all gonna shoot. So definitely shots. It's just we don't know.
But I think spreading the risk could be the right move. Okay. Let's go next question. I have Andreas, Doherty, and Nico on the bench. I think he's answering the rest of his squad. Doherty and Nico. He's benching Doherty. All right. Should I do Solanke to Tony and attack Wolf or just choose my bench?
I'd attack Wolves. And honestly, it was even in my head at one point that if, let's say, Haaland was going to be out for 2 weeks, I was going to take a hit and bring in Tony, because I feel this Wolves game is some, it's the exploitation for Tony goals is there.
Yep. I agree. I think you want to aggressive, you do it this week because
Next week,
tapi the caveat mean Tony
yeah,
has 4 yellow
for
card.
yellow.
Say lah. If you suggest then something bad happened, got yellow card and nothing this week, he will not play against Forest next week. So that's
Yeah,
the thing.
but
And
yeah,
then
Forest is probably is a bad matchup anyway.
yeah,
So
and then Man City on game week 16. So I'm not too sure.
yeah,
So if you but if you want to
short
attack
term,
this week, if you want to attack this week, go ahead. Yep.
yeah.
All right. Could Haaland make a cameo off the bench? He could be. We just never gonna know.
This is the question here, isn't it? Because that hasn't happened for him in the Premier League yet. So,
Yeah.
um, okay, my call is that if he travels, he will play.
All right. Okay. We shall see the news, man. I'm eager to see the travel news. Is that true? Foden got COVID? I'm not sure. I haven't got any news. Okay. If it's
That's
true, just prepare your bench. I haven't
that's
any.
total news for me. I don't know. He positive. I know earlier this year. I can't remember when, but it was during I think it was during the holidays, during the summer break. I can't remember.
We got any? We haven't got any news on that. If let's say, Pep is hiding, we just never gonna know, right? Okay. With Gabriel Singh limping off, man, you did mention about Gabriel just now. Okay,
Yes.
Tomiyasu a good pun. Not bad
Um,
at 4.2. Yep.
mm, no, but it doesn't seem because there'll be matches as like last week where Ben White played at right back instead of Tomiyasu because it seems that he has the analysis is that he's not good. There's some limitations with him when he goes forward. Yeah, defensive right it's great. Yeah, so I'm just worried that there'll be a horses for courses policy with Tomiyasu, so he's not a long term pick. Yeah,
I'm afraid of that also. I think if let's say, you have Gabriel, you just bench him this week and play your
yeah.
bench. If let's say you have like the likes of Guy or even Doherty, like you mentioned, I think you just give a try.
On my side, I'm just relieved that because I went for a
Saliba.
defender. I had Saliba, so okay, real. Okay. but then the concern is that does that impact their chances of keeping a clean sheet? So I would say it does.
Yep, understand. Zaha to Saka. If you have the money, man, would you do it this week?
No, no. Uh, Arsenal are having a bit of bumps at the moment, and I'm not sure why everyone is looking at that Forest game as a lots of goals thing because that totally denies the last two matches of what's happened in the past two matches where they kept clean sheets against Brighton and Liverpool. So I think we're overestimating the impact Arsenal Arsenal also lost last week midweek in the Europa match in Europe and also drew against Southampton last weekend. So no Zaha
Yeah.
at home.
So in terms
Just
of form right now, it's not good for Arsenal. This is where I'm thinking also Rakat FPL. I have this dilemma, Zaha to Saka, but this dilemma is actually last week because I was thinking whether to bring Saka against Southampton. I want to bring him early, but you still not miss the boat yet. If let's say you want to bring in this week again Forest, but after this, if you don't pick, then against Chelsea, I'm not too sure. Then Wolf could be good, but you bring him just for 1 week. I feel it's not a good investment. Maybe you try keep Zaha and see. And that's what I feel.
yeah.
How about captaining Tony? This is your light, me. Captaining a differential, me. But it's not bad actually against Wolves. Would you go that far?
Ah, oh, I hate you, Rakan FPL. You put the thought into my head. I'm, I'm now
No,
looking at.
for you, you stick with Nunes move. I feel that's what would you do. Okay, once you
Sorry.
have done. Yeah, the Darwin move. You do that lah. The
Yeah,
Darwin
yeah,
move.
yeah, yeah. But no, no. But it does it's a good call, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a good call. I think it's a good call against a really rubbish side move right now, and Tony. He has proved he can score a hat trick. That's for sure. I think I forgot hat trick against who.
Can't remember.
So is it Leeds? If I'm correct. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think it was Leeds. Yeah.
So I think you should go if you feel good about it. I think so. Maybe I can keep a thought of that right now, and later I think again whether my vice captain is Salah.
Yeah, yeah. It
All
was
right.
against Leeds. Damn it.
Is it risky to triple up on Arsenal asset versus Newcastle, or just enough with double up? If let's say you're investing, maybe you hold off. But if you already have, I think you just claim it.
Who's this triple up though? Okay, so because on my side, I am tripling up because I have a goalkeeper, a defender, and a midfielder. Yeah, so I'm tripling up because well, it's one is Martinelli, but two is because they do have a good chance of keeping a clean sheet against Forest. Yeah, whose attack is still suspect. Um, but I don't think it merits making a transfer. Yeah, I think we want to look at the Liverpool Leeds match or yeah, or other Manchester United West Ham or
Yep,
those
yep.
matches where you can see. Yeah.
Even Newcastle are on form, so I think those
Oh yeah,
those
yeah.
two.
The Newcastle. Yeah, yeah. That's right. The Newcastle Villa match.
Which is the best pun? Show voting Anthony or only shot at keeper Rashford? Or it's against Anthony against Rashford. People are saying Rashford. I hear about FPL Wire did mention about Rashford. But Anthony is a good shot, but it's like 1 million
No,
price
no, no.
difference.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely Rashford because in terms of mentality, is there definitely Rashford to who want to score goals. I saw that showboat Anthony showboating thing. Oh my goodness, it was just ridiculous. So, but yeah, still Rashford.
All right. Haaland keep or sell. As you can see, the
Keep,
traffic managers are selling. I think it's a keep definitely for the next two. They still have decent fixture. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Leicester. Is
keep,
it
keep,
Fulham somewhere there? Yep,
keep,
Fulham
keep.
is. So then the last question: if Haaland out till World Cup, which is I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so. If you want to move Haaland to King, if you feel good about it this week, you do it. But I would.
Yeah, I would. If it's confirmed he's out, but then from the look, honestly, but from the looks of it, he isn't.
Yeah.
If he's going back, he was already training already. That means he won't
Yep.
be out.
Yep. I'll keep. I'll keep. Because Man City has still really two decent fixture coming up before the World Cup. So that's our deadline streaming. We are going to wrap up. It's been a fruitful session. Your last word, man.
Wait for let's wait for the coach news of Manchester City arriving at Leicester. We'll know for
Yep,
sure, just like we did with Liverpool.
yep. Just would like to remind everyone, Game Week 40 deadline will be at 6 p.m. today. You still have time, no issue. And whoever is here will appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi Show, where you can receive early notification whenever we are live. You can also follow us at our Twitter, Azmin at Sleepy Jedi, and also myself at Moh Hafiz Mo. So that's for this week. Hopefully you are prepared now in terms of all the question and also the news from team news. So we shall see. Good luck, everyone. Thank you for
All
watching
the
and
best.
have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.